Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney, and what is most likely, I think, the second to last video of the first Ace Attorney game in this Let's Play. Which is kind of crazy to me, because it feels like we flew through this game, but also I look back and we started it in January, didn't we? Around then? So, I guess it hasn't been that quick, but I guess when you compare it to every other Let's Play I've done that has taken way longer, then yeah, this does feel quick. But yeah, so in the last video, we found out why Lana has been so quiet about everything and doing what Gant says and not wanting to be helpful at all and just wants to be like, yep, it was me, I did it. And that's because the person who actually killed Neil Marshall was Emma. It was an accident, but yeah, it was her. Definitely worries me because they were gonna convict Edgeworth if he committed a crime when he was a kid as an accident. So oh, I don't want Emma to go to jail. That would be such a depressing way to end this game with her going to jail. But yeah, so we've got 2 parts of this trial left. And I'm kind of curious as to how, because I feel like the only thing we have to do now is prove that Gant did it. I don't know, maybe it's gonna be harder than I think it is because we have 2 parts of the trial left. So you know what? Let's just jump into it and see. Oh, hi, Edgeworth. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Oh, right. Of course, how could I forget that I'm mad at Gant because he's like, oh yeah, this is Edgeworth sent an innocent man to death. Dude, Joe Dark was a serial killer. It's not his fault. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Hey, Gumshoe. Have you gotten your job back? You show up at the worst times, Gumshoe. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Oh, he looks so sad. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around all while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I'm getting deja vu. This is very much like when you dropped off the Joe Dark files. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell ya, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. The little duck on the cover. Also, does this mean you got your job back, Gumshoe? Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You can at least study some evidence law, really. What's rule number 2? Did we figure that one out? The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need to read this book. Him? I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. When am I gonna have time to do that? From this guy, explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. Let's take a look. Rule for submitting evidence. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth! The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Edgeworth knows what's up. You gonna help me?
Welcome back from recess. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. I combined the word trial and Lana and created the word Trana. Do you all like my new word? I hope you do. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, you took that very well. I, for one, am not a fan of this Inquiry Committee and what they are doing. Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, cough, cough. This isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have,
struck a bargain? You think I may have manipulated the witness?
I didn't say that. I would never say such a thing about you, Edgeworth. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution? I would love to hear it.
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Your Honor, there's not a precedent for literally anything that's happened in this trial thus far.
He has a point.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witness.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Yeah, Edgeworth! I got you. I got your back. We're gonna get you out of this.
Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls. I know who I'm calling. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Damon Gant himself. Boop. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? But I hate him. What does he have anything to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. This is going to be rough. Everyone prepare, because he sucks and he's going to ask all of us if we've swam, even though he just saw us like 15 minutes ago.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this? Some kind of practical joke?
Just sit, please, for the love of God. You, of all people, should just say your name and occupation. Why is it that hard? Why was Emma Skye the only one in this game that listened to me?
I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
I didn't even call you. Your name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant. Even I'm getting sick of this. Just say your name and occupation.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? That just makes you more suspicious. You know?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
That's stupid. He's a murderer.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry. I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
SO9 incident.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Yeah, you did. And I have evidence to prove it. Is that when Dark was arrested?
Just like the last video, I want to say Drake instead of Dark.
Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious.
Emma was very strong to push him that hard.
He flew into that thing. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
You're a liar. You're a liar. And it's about this because of that jar.
You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That's the blue badger you showed us earlier.
A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Jerk. Suck it.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? That's illegal.
Ho.
Don't call me a hoe.
Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. I've rivaled him several times now, okay? Anyways, so you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery. Who, me? Or do you mean you?
What?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who stuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know.
I didn't sneak in. Gumshoe gave me permission to go.
Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, righto?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Thank you, Edgeworth. Oh. He said what I was thinking. Thank you for the help. I love you.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
Not if you're in jail.
Ugh. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Edgeworth, maybe you should give him a raise.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence you found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
Are you calling me a kid? I do look rather young for my age.
Evidence in forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
when investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Not if you go to jail. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. You're going to jail.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? I'm taking Phoenix to a nice Italian dinner after my mahjong practice tonight. I think he deserves it. Today is, well, you know.
All right, Aji. In return, though.
I know, the place, that place, right?
Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? What do you mean, that place?
I'm going on a date with him, too.
Okay, I'm gonna press on that he would have no reason to participate in a forgery. Boom! No, I was so confident in it that I pressed the wrong button. I meant to press.
How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent.
No, you're not.
You're a murderer. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil?
I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye.
Well, now, do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
I almost pressed the wrong button again.
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh, you're so smart, Phoenix.
The resolution of the SO9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SO9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Don't mind the fact that I stumbled over my words. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Gah. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Is it so you could make Lana, like, do your bidding? You know, whatever you wanted, she would do?
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now.
Looking after you, yourself, and you would, like, basically with what I said. You do it to, like have that over Lana's head so she can do things for you.
Aji, would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
By all means, please do.
I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me.
There is something in it for you, though.
Nothing in it for you?
Lana. She could do what you want.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Ho ho! Ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. There have been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. Yes. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
It's not what I mean, Judge.
Very well, then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence?
None other than Lana Skye.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant?
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SO9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
You mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? What?
This sounds like something I would make up for you to say, Judge.
Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
That literally sounds like one of the things I make Judge say as a joke. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor. Oh, your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana... She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. Well, there's no protecting Emma now, after what we just found out.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
Haha, Edgeworth! I love that we are working together. This incident? Which one would that be? There's so many incidents now.
Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you better watch your tongue. Dude, you saying that stuff just proves you're guilty. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Do not hurt Edgeworth, or I will hurt you.
Just what do you mean? That was very suspicious. Gant, what are you saying? Are you a murderer?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? What? My God, I never would have guessed such a thing. Order, order, order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder.
Hey, a lot of police departments are corrupt. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
That is impossible. My brain can't handle it.
Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this.
We're working together, me and Edgeworth. We're gonna get, yeah.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? The Chief Gant, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder.
Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I agree. I see. All right then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. It's...
Where is it? The card log. Yep. He was in there. He's all the 7s.
This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. All the 7s. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. You can't prove it. It's your number. Oh no.
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was all the 7s. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant. Oh, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Oh, okay, we broke your facade now, buddy. It's a new sprite.
Order, order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. How could you lie to me?
What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days. Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth.
Yeah, Judge. You know, every trial in this game has been to determine someone's guilt, and then I always flip it on its head, and it's someone else. This is no different than any other time. You shouldn't be surprised.
If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
Well, that was the only way he could have gotten in, because he didn't have his card. Where's it? Where's that lost item report? I definitely passed it. Autopsy note. I'm blind. Oh, right there. Duh, it's right there. There. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jacob Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of the report.
which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to.
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh.
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Yeah. You did. Exactly.
But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Okay, again, the way you phrase that just makes you guilty. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body.
Oh my... No. That... My heart stopped. Oh my god.
Chief Gant, you didn't. You went super sane and it looked horrifying.
That... Oh my god, that was scary. It wasn't old bag scary, but it was scary. Oh my god. It's scarier than April May. Whoa, he's totally gonna do that again. Great. Now I have that to fear.
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana sorry, I'm getting fumbled. Stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space.
Huh? How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this.
Okay, what's a useless clue taking up space? We haven't used this parking stub, but I don't think that's it. No. What have we not used? This screwdriver, evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's, brought back to his office by Chief Gant, or by Gant's request. Is it this? Did he use this to be like, evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's, brought back to his office by Gant's request? Did he use that to be like, hey, I don't know, to like take this out of the evidence? That's the only thing we haven't used. Other than this cloth, but I think that's actually important. That's my only guess. I would go with it. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body.
What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Did he? Oh, okay. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. he stick the body in your car then? So that you would take it back? That's not why I picked that screwdriver. Again, how many times do I pick evidence for the wrong reason and then it ends up being right? Granted, that was like the only thing that made sense. A piece of evidence that he thought was junk. But yeah, my thought was that like he gave it to Edgeworth to be like, there was like a motive, like why he was in there. Anyway.
You mean I...
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
There was a body in my car, oh god.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye.
Order, order, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Ms. Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed into the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something. We were going to go on a date tonight, remember, at that place? You're ruining it. I don't want to be with you now.
I believe your time's up.
My time's up.
Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special.
Oh my god, he's just dipping.
Ah!
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons. Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? This is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're just going to run away after all this?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor?
Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Ms. Skye dispose of his body.
Do I have any concrete proof? I don't think I do. I think this is the game telling me, like, back off for now and go to the third part. Because I don't think I do have anything. It's no use showing evidence I'm not sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present I have no conclusive evidence. Humph. See, Yudgy?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What the? Really?
What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Udgy, I'll leave the rest to you.
God dang it. Oh my god, he disappeared like a ghost. He has the art of teleportation. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
Oh god. Why'd my health bar pop up? I'm scared. I feel like the judge is going to kill me.
I warned you. Now it is time for me to finally actually use my laser vision. I don't care how much I love you. I will kill you.
Wow. Save me. Thank you, my darling.
Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial.
Lana.
We haven't yet the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth. Another witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his rights to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
It's Lana.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth. But we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Damon Gant again! We call forth Bruce Goodman, the body. Lana Skye.
The defendant, Ms. Lana Skye.
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. I need to clear my head on the swings because, dear God, that was a lot. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
Hold on.
Huh? Who said that? Why are you back? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana. I was talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences.
You can't just threaten people in court. You're so guilty.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
We already know she did it.
This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then.
Dude, he literally just announced... The way he just announced that to the court. As if that is not the most, guilt-inducing statement ever.
I've got a lunch date to meet.
I hate him. I really do. Why did I ever agree to go to lunch with him? He just disappeared like a ghost. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Dear God.
Thank you for helping me, Edgeworth.
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief. He's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
Ha ha ha. I'm not a detective anymore. No!
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office.
Oh. My office?
Sure. I'll take that place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
No, she's gonna come back. At some point. What do you mean? Maya?
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now.
I mean, I'll take it. Gumshoe, why not? But Maya will be back. I hope.
Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said?
Did Gumshoe say that or did Phoenix? I actually don't know.
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certainly risks to be considered.
Risks. What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Hello?
Oh, hey, Emma.
You're back. Recovered from the fact that you're a murderer. Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
You didn't mean to.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells him the truth. Let's go, right? It's time to end this. Okay, Edgeworth. I love that we're working together. It's my favorite. It's me and Edgeworth against the world. Okay, well, that's gonna do it for today. And next time will be it. It'll be the last Ace Attorney. Well, it's really not. We're gonna do the second game afterwards. Like, you know, next Monday you're gonna get the last of this game, and the Monday after we're just gonna go right into the second game. There's no need to be sad. We're just gonna keep going. But yeah, oh my gosh. Gant is so frustrating. I hate that guy so much. But we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. He's gonna be found guilty. It's gonna happen. I just can't believe he came in front of the court and said some of that stuff like, hey, Lana, don't. Or like, I'm gonna find your sister guilty. Like, dude, it's like, you're basically admitting your guilt right there. And the fact that like, he just like, was like, peace, I'm gonna go eat. I refuse anymore because I'm just incriminating myself. Like, oh my god, and that scary sprite he had, I really don't want to see that again, but I have a feeling it's gonna happen. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here for today. And I will see you all next week for the grand finale of the first Ace Attorney game. Woo! Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!